Hello, V-Gates. My name is Third, and someone please save me. Stardew Valley has taken over my every thought. As people, it's natural for us to recognize patterns in things, and sometimes us recognizing those patterns can lead to us separating things into groups. Mammals and invertebrates, cool colors and warm colors, good and evil, happy cars and sad cars, actors named Chris. One of the many things that's ended up being widely spread into groups are generations. Gen Beta being the newest and having started in 2024, then there's Gen Gen Alpha that started in 2013, Gen Z that started in 1997, Gen Y, otherwise known as the Millennials, that started in 1981, Gen X that started in 1965, Baby Boomers that started in 1946, and finally the Silent Generation that started in 1928. It's saying that they're called silent when they're anything but. I mean, a lot of America's important political leaders are part of it or gossiping it. Crazy, by the way. But when people specifically are separated into groups, there's usually going to be some sort of fight or argument about who is the better of the group. Back in 2023, there was a football game between the Patriots and the Dolphins, and a fight ended up breaking out between fans of both sides, and someone literally ended up dead. Oh yeah, and all those wars that have happened, you know? Those two. So naturally, there have been generation wars that have started out on TikTok because of course. Every single two of them have been against Gen Z, being that they're the ruling population on the app and make up a lot of the popular creators. The one that's been going on the longest is with the millennials. For why? I don't know. But recently, there's been a new competitor in the arena. Gen X. Generation X is not the 1970s to 1990s British punk rock band formed by Billy Idol, Tony James, Bob Andrews, and Mark Laff, but rather the generation of people that raised said Gen Z, and now are, for whatever reason, starting beef with their kids. Like the 1970s to 1990s British punk rock band formed by Billy Idol, Tony James, Bob Andrews, and Mark Laff, a ton of them think they're untouchable. So where did all this beef start then? I don't actually know. I'm fairly certain it was from a very small percent of Gen Z, like literally one or two people that said something like, we should cancel Eminem. Then a good chunk of TikTok's Gen X population came piling in, like stuff just went on sale at Target. They were really, really mad about even the idea of canceling their favorite white boy, despite the fact that a lot of Gen Z listens to their favorite white boy. Also despite the fact that a lot of Gen Z listens to their favorite white boy. Their favorite white boy made a song in retaliation. Eminem made a song in retaliation. I wish I was making this up. I want to make it really, really clear that this beef between Gen X and Gen Z is really, really one-sided, with Gen X making video after video about how Gen Z poked the bear and fucked around, and now they're gonna find out. Meanwhile, their comments are flooded with people just like dogging on them and making fun of them because no, they didn't. You might be saying, but Third, if you're making a video about it as a Gen Z, how is it one-sided? Shut up. Anyway, the song that Eminem made in retaliation is called Trouble, and god damn it, this song sucks so much ass. If you aren't already aware, Eminem plays a character in a lot of his songs called Slim Shady, who basically says mean things. Yeah. The song starts out with his character Slim Shady telling him to drink alcohol. They both drink whatever, and then Slim Shady is like, fuck blind people. And deaf people suck. And he says that about other groups, obviously, and then he drops what I think is the hardest line in all of media. I truly think that. Trying to cancel me? Gen Z me, bro. What did it mean when it said that? You know how earlier he said that deaf people suck? Does he realize that he was kind of insulting himself when he said that? Because you've got to be deaf to not realize how bad of a line that is. Actually, no, Beethoven was deaf, and he made banger after banger after banger. I know that Slim Shady is a character, I got that part, but it's still Eminem writing the music. You know, it's still Eminem wanting to profit off of internet drama. Kind of hard to profit when the song is bad. You know what I think? I think that Gen X got confused and thought we were trying to cancel Eminem, when actually we were just saying he fell off. He's allowed to fall off. It was bound to happen at some point. You know, he's been in the game for like, what, 38 years, he can fall off. And you can admit that he fell off while still liking his old music. I know that the Slim Shady character was made to say cancelable stuff, but that line isn't even really cancelable. It's just like, it's strange. It's weird. It's befuzzling, okay? In all fairness, though, Eminem isn't a stranger to strange lines. Born in a... I'll go back to talking about Gen X now. Kind of spiraled a little bit there, guys. Blacked out. One of the main accounts I've seen posting about how it's the Gen X rise and how we've got to gather the troops is some guy by the name of Simon. Not the Chipmunk, but I wish it was. I wish I could open TikTok and see the blue one from Evelyn and the Chipmunks talk Britishly about how Eminem is the greatest person alive and that even a smidgen of criticism towards him is punishable by death. Simon's bio says that it's all satire, but immediately follows that up with watching snowflakes get emotional. So I don't think it's satire. Pretty much 90% of the videos he's made since like late May of this year have been about Gen X and what he calls the worst generation ever, Gen Z. And it was kind of out of the blue since his earlier content was this. I've been really trying, babe. Trying to hold back the feeling for so long. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. What is happening, guys? But other videos you make talk about how Gen Z is made up of snowflakes and that they poked the bear and that Gen X should roll out like Transformers. But let's face it, I think a Transformer would be too advanced of tech for them to figure out. Stick to learning Roku, okay? In a deleted video, he makes up a situation that Gen X and Gen Z meet. In the video, Gen Z is pictured to like stumble in and pass out, I think, and Gen X follows and starts to beat the Gen Z character with a bat. This video is funny to me for two reasons. Number one, the majority of Gen X has met Gen Z. Actually, they've met so much and know each other so super well, and so well that the majority of Gen Z has been inside a Gen Xer at some point. Not in the weird way, because that would be either predatory or morally wrong, but in the pregnancy way. Hey Simon, are you aware that Gen X is the parent generation to the vast majority of Gen Z? Do you know that? It's important to me that you know that. Which brings me to my next point. I sure hope that Gen X isn't beating Gen Z with a bat, because that is child abuse, which is illegal. At least in the US. I don't know if it is in Britain over there. Oh, it is illegal? Oh, the law is actually probably more strict than in the US? Cool. Every single one of these people keeps saying that Gen Z as a whole woke the bear. What do you mean? What did we do? Just because like two people from Gen Z pointed out that Eminem's lyrics are a little strange, so now we, collectively, as an entire generation, woke the bear? Or maybe it's because Gen Z now fills a lot of positions in customer service, like at grocery stores and at fast food places, and they're no longer complacent with one-sided screaming matches because they accidentally gave Gen X mustard instead of honey mustard. Is that how we woke the bear? Because you're no longer allowed to be a B-word to customer service workers who really aren't getting paid enough to deal with you? Or maybe it's because they're jealous. I don't normally like to hold the idea that anyone that hates you is automatically jealous of you because some people are just mean, but maybe some of these Gen Xers are just jealous. They're jealous that Gen Z grew up with the internet and parents that cared enough to not throw them outside and ignore them and all of these other things, so they turned to calling us snowflakes because we didn't have to drink water out of a hose, because we didn't have to pee in the forest, because our parents didn't have to have commercials literally reminding them that their kids exist. Or maybe it's just because they're mean. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading a little too deep into this. I do that a lot. Every time I read a book, I shove my face super deep into it so that I can read deep into it. Like I have to carve a hole in my book just to read as deep as I want into it. That's why I like the book holes so much. So they dug a hole, and then they dug another hole, and then, class, you'll never guess, they dug another hole. Are you okay? Jesus Christ, can you breathe in there? Yeah, I'm good too. Just trying to read really deep into the book, you know. Metaphors in that, it like transports me into the book. Seriously? Hell yeah. Whoa, ew! Select Gen Xers on TikTok will brag about the fact that their parents neglected them when they were kids and make fun of Gen Z for not having to experience that, as if they weren't the people that raised Gen Z. The Simon Gen X guy I was talking about earlier made a few videos where he said,
I'd like to apologise to all the Gen Zs. I apologise, I'm sorry that your mother raised a little bitch.
As if the mom he's talking about isn't also Gen X, probably. Simon, I'm sorry your mom raised a little cloud fighter, okay? Who are you fighting, babes? Nobody woke the bear. Go back to Facebook.
So, I got a suggestion. Why don't you all go and retrieve your Facebook passwords and get back on Facebook?
Oh, you think we should go to Facebook? Okay, Grandpa. To my knowledge, Simon isn't the only Gen Xer that's acting like that, but he was the one showing up on my For You page the most, so, you know, obviously don't send any hate to him or anyone mentioned in this video. It's all fun. It's all silly fun types here, and comment your opinions on this whole thing, and go down and like this video if you enjoyed it, and perhaps subscribe. Mayhaps hit the bell. It'll make sure that you never miss an upload, and you can always unsubscribe later. As always, you are all great. My name is Third. Guten. Bye. To all the people out there who think that me saying goodbye in German incorrectly is weird and uneducated, I'm sorry. I'm sorry your mom raised a little bitch.